Welcome to the first of the next 8 days as I travel along the Speyside Way. This morning I'm heading to Buckie. I'm currently in Leslie, located in the Kingdom of Fife. So this morning I'm heading to the train station in Markinch. From Markinch I have about a 3.5-hour train ride to Elgin, and then from Elgin it is about a 50-minute bus ride to Buckie. This trek is the accumulation of a journey that originally started on the West Highland Way in Milngavie, which is not too far from Glasgow. From there, I hiked around 110 miles, which included a few jumps off the main trail, and I finished up in Fort William. Last year I picked up where I left off in Fort William and covered around 100 miles up the Great Glen Way, reaching my final destination in Inverness. And tomorrow starts my trek along the River Spey, heading towards Abbeymoor. In all total, I will have hiked around 300 miles by myself through the Scottish Highlands. Hey everybody, I made it. Took me a little longer than anticipated. The maintenance train had broke down on the track, and I originally had routed myself through Aberdeen, so I made a little change and came up through Inverness. It cost me about 2 hours, but that's fine. If that's the worst thing that happens on this trip, I'm going to be good. I'm staying at the Struan house, which is right behind me. It's on the square here, which is a perfect location. It's also the start of the Speyside Way. So I'm going to go dump my gear, go get some lunch, and see Buckie. See you tomorrow on the trail. I checked in. Beautiful place. Evidently, this was an old folks' home at one point in time, and that means I fit right in. So looking forward to having a good night's rest and a good breakfast in the morning. So I'm in a fishing village, so I think grabbing some fish and chips for lunch is going to be the way to go. What do you think? Okay, I've made my way down to the Fishing Heritage Center. And so this is where you learn everything about fishing here in this area. And it's quite a history. So I'm heading in and we're going to learn a little bit about fishing in Buckie. Buckie is a small village on the Moray Firth, which is an inlet heading out to the North Sea. You can walk the Speyside Way in any direction, but I have decided to leave from Buckie and head towards Aviemore. This will get me closer back to my home base here in Leslie. Buckie's history is found in its fishing heritage and has long been known for its connection to the sea. Now, legend has it that the name Buckie came from a seashell, but others say it came from the Gaelic word bulk, referring to a male deer. But whatever its origin may be, we do know it's a village that has remained connected to the sea for centuries. In 1920, it is right here, out in the Buckie Cluny Harbor, where the sailing ship Loyal met its fate. With the sea starting to rise, the Loyal missed its entrance into the harbor and crashed on the rocks where the harbor wall was being extended, and as the ship rocked in the crashing waves, the crew was lost. The skipper, Peter Thompson, was the last man on the ship. He tied himself to the ship's mast, and as the mast fell, the skipper went with it. The next day, the crew was found scattered along the beaches, and work began by the divers and local harbor employees to remove the wreckage. A diver by the name of Phillips helped raise the mast and found the skipper still tied to it. It is indeed a story of the skipper being the last man to go down with his ship. Legend has it that the diver Phillips never dived again. So as I begin my journey on the Speyside Way and leave Buckie and the harbor behind, my first 10 miles will take us up to the small town of Fochabers. So I think it's going to be a great day, and hopefully we will see a bit of sunshine. Scotland is full of historic small towns and villages, and getting away from the big cities of Glasgow and Edinburgh allows you to feel and see what Scotland is really all about. I'm about 3.5 miles out now, and I've hit what I think is an old railroad roadbed. It's real flat and real wide, so I'm going to really pick up some time right here. I'll see you on the trail. Well, it's taken about 4 miles and to finally hit the forested area. So I just made a left here, and I think I get at mile 5, I'm going to take a break. That'll put me kind of at the halfway point for today. So I'm hoping this next section is going to look pretty good. I'll see you on the trail. Well, it's 5.8 miles since I left this morning, and so I'm doing really well on time. I decided to go ahead and push it all the way into the Dolphin Research Center. I can take a break here. I'm sitting at a picnic table, believe it or not. So I'm going to get a little water, stay down for about 15 minutes, and then I'm going to head back out again. Haven't seen too many people. One of the things I have noticed is that this section of the trail is not very marked well. I'd say, but my GPS, I had waypointed it and programmed it before I left, and it's right on the money right now. I haven't missed a turn or nothing with it. So, and my map share live tracking, I think it's working. I'm going to check it here in a second if I have internet. So far I haven't had any internet. I've only been on the satellite. So anyway, we'll be back at it here in about 15 minutes. Okay, it's 1:10. I only have about 3/4 of a mile to go, and I stopped to take a water break here. But behind me is the most amazing group of ferns that you've ever seen. They're just beautiful. They're everywhere. And of course, you don't hear a bit of noise when you get into these forests. It's really, really quiet. So I'm going to push off, finish up, and I'll see you in Fochabers. As I approach the village of Fochabers, I will be staying the night at the Gordon Arms Hotel. Known for its good food and fine malts, the Gordon Arms was originally an old coaching house and has served guests for over 200 years. The hotel has maintained the theme of the original coaching house, so it should be a good historical place to land for the evening. It's 2 o'clock and it's been an 11-mile day. Went pretty fast, I think, and it went good. Not a drop of rain. But I'm in town now, and I'm heading to the famous Gordon Arms Hotel. And I'll tell you why. Old guys don't sleep on the ground anymore. Okay, you see that behind me? That's an ice cream shop. And I actually see no reason not to go get an ice cream after walking 11 miles. So I'm going to go check it out. I'm in front of the famous Fochabers Folk Museum. And if I'm not mistaken, I think that's the little brother of Bob's Big Boy. Well, I regret to inform you that the famous Fochabers Folk Museum is closed. Evidently, they didn't know I was coming from Nashville, Tennessee. This is pretty cool. This is Jamin's family traditional butcher. So evidently, if your kids get out of line, you can just bring them in and dress them out. Okay, I saw this sign in Fochabers, and I thought, okay, this is a little weird. Fochabers Men's Shed. And then I realized I saw in the upper corner, woodworkers.